Vyacheslav, let's touch on the role of China and the United States in world politics. There is a lot of talk that Biden supported Putin in some ways and gave him to some extent carte blanche to march on Ukraine. The Chinese are considering the possibility that Putin will use nuclear weapons. Is that a possibility? What is the idea in the first place for Russia to become either a draw or a Chinese draw? In other words, Russia does not stubbornly become part of Western civilization. Will it then become Chinese?
The topic of China is a very voluminous one. You need to understand what is happening there. There is now a fascist regime, although they call it communist in the West. Why? This is primarily due to their complete lack of familiarity with either communism or fascism. Confucianism forms the basis of the current Chinese ideology, which prioritizes the worship of the state. Marxism played a crucial role in its formation. However, Mao Zedong brought crooked Marxism to Chinese soil. What is fascism? It's an ideology of nation-state domination. It can't be defined. No one except us has defined fascism. Fascism is an ideology of domination over the nation-state and nothing more. So, of course, it's not communism. It's fascism capable of disguising itself in any manner it pleases. The society of cyber tyranny is developing there because China has already entered a new socio-economic formation. It has survived capitalism, survived it quickly enough, and entered cyberalism, a new socio-economic formation. Cyber tyranny is the manifestation of this phenomenon, and it is poised to continue its rapid development. Now, the number of robots in China every year is exactly the same as in the rest of the world. Can you imagine? And cyberalism is, first of all, robotization, of course. Therefore, China is primarily interested in obtaining Russian territory or using Russia for some purpose. I have already said that from a Maoist perspective, the Mao saw the most desirable thing for China is nuclear war. Now, what does China get as a result of a nuclear war? So it doesn't get any strikes on its territory. Among other things, it has a huge number of empty cities, underground cities, and cities far away from other cities. China's territory is almost 10 million square kilometers. Russia has 17 million square kilometers. Russia is considered immense. Of course, there is a difference, but it is not fatal. It is insignificant. And so, of course, the Chinese can be stationed anywhere, even if nuclear weapons hit them. Well, they won't be hit. What's the point? China is positioning itself as a peacemaker who will not engage in war. The phrase kill with another man's knife describes this strategy. Putin will be at war with the West, not China. And China doesn't care at all what happens to Russia. Suppose that the West destroys all of Russia's territory and population. This territory will fall to China, which is contaminated. China is willing to wait until the situation is more or less normal before using this territory. The Chinese are not serious about ecology. The main thing for China is that Africa will be clean. China completely subordinates Africa to itself. Latin America will also be clean and not polluted. And they don't need Europe or the United States of America at all. Putin's destruction of European civilization would leave only Asian civilization led by China. That's it. There will be no one else left. Everything else will be under Chinese control. In that sense, I think Putin is very interesting to China right now. And maybe China would have gotten rid of him a long time ago if it didn't want to use him that way, and if Western intelligence services and diplomats for some reason do not say it out loud. The people of the West should know that all Russian politicians who fear for their chairs immediately go to China to get a label for reigning.